How about you, hands? So we're going to put the leveling kit on the mega cab today. We're going to go ahead and get the leveling kit on. I've got shocks on order. We're going to be putting a set of Bilsteins 5100 series on there. A lot of guys are running those. Everybody likes them. I'm going to give them a shot. It's just a 2-inch leveling kit by Tough Country. Pretty simple to do. Anybody can do it as long as you got enough jack stands or blocks or whatever you want to use. Pretty much you just need to jack it up high enough where you can support the body. Put you some jack stands underneath the body. This here. And then get you some jack stands to support the axle just in case. I know I got a leaky jack, so it bleeds off sometimes, so I go ahead and have an extra set of jack stands to support the axle in case the jack leaks off. But you want to try to take some of that pressure off of that shock. That way when you pull it, it don't shoot up out of there at you. And you don't have to fight it all the way up. But pretty simple process. You just take your bolt out of your bottom of your shock, which is located right there, 7/8. And then you got 3 bolts on your tower here, right back there, and then one on the other side. Before you take that tower loose though, I'd go ahead and break your top bolt on your shock. That way you can take your shock tower mount off. It makes it easier because you got to pull your shock from the top of the truck. So yeah, not a big deal. I think the shock tower mounting bolts takes a 15mm socket, and the bolt on top of these shocks is a 3/4, and I think I'm using like a 5/16 to hold as a backer because it will spin. You get froze up, take them a top bolt or sawzall or quarter band, whatever you got, just cut the top of it off. Especially, you know, you're gonna go in there and replace your shocks. If not, I mean, I know guys, they run stock shocks on a 2-inch leveling kit all the time. But going this deep, might as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace mine. Mine's got a few miles on it. I really don't know how old they are, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace the shocks while I'm in there that deep. As far as the rear shocks go, I'm not going to replace those just yet. I ought to get a whole set. Shit, I don't know, man. I might replace all 4 of them. I really want to turn this into my road truck, but then again, I don't want to drive it up north whenever it's salty and snowy and nasty. So it's really hard to find these mega cabs with solid rockers and not rusted out. This one right here has a really good body on it as far as that goes. So we'll see. I'll drive it a lot. I love driving this truck, but I'll quit rambling. Let's get to work. So doing these leveling kits, guys, it's not a hard job at all. Any of this, really none of this is really hard. It's just having the tools makes everything a lot easier. A little improvising and a little bit of, you know, ingenuity, and you can do it with little or nothing or some help. But if I can do it, y'all can do it. It's not that big of a deal. Tell you what, best thing I ever spent money on. Topside creeper. Working on these trucks, or any truck really, it's a must. Ain't nothing to it but a do it hand. Alright. Now we're just gonna lower the front end down and install a leveling kit. And when the new shocks come in, we'll just throw them shocks in. Let's check this out here. Something I ran into putting this leveling kit on. If you'll look, the driver's side fell down almost all the way to the ground, and the spring just pretty much fell out. You know, your passenger side won't do that, and it's all because of this track bar right here. You can see on the other side right there, it's already touching the bottom of that shock tower or spring tower, whatever you want to call it. So you got a couple options. You can pull this bolt, drop this down, track bar down, or you can take a spring compressor. You can compress that spring just a little bit, and that'll give you plenty of clearance. And it wasn't bad at all. So there's your options. The easier option I'm gonna go ahead and tell you is, if you got room and it's easy for you to get to, which it is over here, as long as you take your fender wells out and all that stuff, you're already in that deep. Just pull a damn bolt. I wish I would have pulled the bolt. I actually used a little spring compressor tool I had to compress that spring a little bit, but it was a little bit more fight, a little more pain in the ass than I wanted it to be. But it came out, and I got the leveling spacer in there, 2-inch spacer in there, so it wasn't too bad. That's about all there is to it. We'll go ahead, I'm going to clean this lower tower up and put some oil on it so it won't rust no more, and then put the spacer in and get on down the road with it. That's all she wrote till the damn shocks come in. Looks pretty good though. See how she rides when we get her all done. Moving on to front rear end oil and paint the covers. New gaskets, put them back on. That's that moonshine skills right there. boys, ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote for that one. We're gonna catch back up with y'all later, but yeah. So shocks is done. Well, we at least got the 2-inch spacers in. 2-inch spacers are in, waiting on shocks. No, just remember another thing, another little tip for when y'all do a leveling kit or something. Make sure that you match mark your coil springs where they are on your hangers, on your lower halves. Just mark them with a paint stick or scribe it or something like that. Way you can put them back the way they came off during the factory. But besides that, it's pretty simple, pretty easy forward. Just I would definitely recommend pulling that track bar, or at least that one bolt of that track bar where it can drop down. That way you don't have to use a spring compressor, but ain't too bad. Ain't too bad at all. We should be in assembly on the next video, so I'll see y'all then. Y'all keep keeping the lights on, man. Love y'all.